It didn't take long for us to have our first 300 game bowled on Prodigy. The first one came on our Season 1 finale, an adult-youth Scotch doubles format where the two partners took turns throwing a frame. But looking back on it now, we don't really count it as one of our 300s since it was a 9-pin no-tap event and the adult partner threw the 12th ball.
He did it!
The first natural 300 game on Prodigy came in Season 3 on April 13th, 2019 in Game 2 of a 2-game match between Big Logan Mathis and Christian Manel. Christian had won the first game, so Logan had to win the second game or the match would have gone to Christian. So Big Logan was extra motivated and showed it. Christian fired a scintillating 254, but Logan banked the second game on his first ball in the 10th, sending the match to a 9th and 10th frame roll-off, which Logan won. Boom! That strike secures the game, and he has evened the match at 1 game apiece. Then it was just a matter of whether Logan could finish off the first natural 300 on Prodigy. Here's Logan going for the 11th. And he gets it. And he is now 1 ball away from perfection. There's nothing left to say. There it is!
Let's go! How about that? Come on!
Logan Mathis has shot 300 on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. 5 years would pass before we saw the second natural 300 game on the show. But in 2024, we hit the jackpot. We didn't see just 1 300, we saw 3. Including 2 in consecutive events. At the 2024 KCO Invitational, Caden White won the opening match to advance to face Rhett Ryman in match 2. Caden unleashed a strong 248 against Rhett and took Rhett all the way to the 10th frame before Rhett locked it up with his 10th ball of the match. He's got the front 9. And there's the front 10. But then Rhett needed 2 more strikes to become the first Kansas City area bowler to register a 300 on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Logan Mathis holds the only natural 300 game ever bowled on Prodigy back in 2019. Rhett needs 2 more strikes to become the second to do it. There is strike 11. He has been going slower and slower with each shot, and you know he's going to take his time on this one. This strike for a perfect game, 300.
Come on, ball!
Perfection! Rhett Ryman gets the second ever natural 300 on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Watch the 12th strike again. That KCO Invitational was the final Kansas City Open event of the 2023-24 season. But it wasn't the final tournament on the Prodigy calendar. 3 weeks later, at our very next event, the season-ending 2024 Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, Nolan Nash, who had won the KCO Invitational 3 weeks earlier to secure back-to-back KCO Invitational titles, this time had to survive the wild card round to secure the 5th spot in the Prodigy TOC Stepladder. There he faced Tanner Haig in match 1. Tanner put up a brave fight shooting 236, But it wasn't enough, as Nolan Nash overpowered the championship pair en route to the third natural 300 game ever bowled on Prodigy. We've only had now 2 natural 300 games bowled in the 8 years of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Nolan looking to bowl the third. Oh, and that one was a little wide of where he wanted it. But now Nolan Nash is 1 strike away from our second 300 game in 2 shows.
Come on, Nolan!
He did it! Then, as calendar 2024 drew to a close, Prodigy cameras returned to Georgia for a holiday season reunion of the Prodigy regulars from our early days. This time, it was Hunter Moffett, the all-time winningest player on Prodigy, who survived the wild card round in that event to secure the 5th spot in the Stepladder, where his first match proved to be one for the ages. You couldn't walk it down and place it any better. Hunter Moffett with the front 10. Make that the front 11. Hunter Moffett with a chance to write his name in the Prodigy Bowlers Tour history books. We've had a total of 3 natural 300s bowled on Prodigy. One by Logan Mathis in Georgia, one by Rhett Ryman in Kansas City, one by Nolan Nash in Kansas City. Will Hunter be the 4th?
Come on.
Yes! And he looks pretty pumped about it. In that event, taped on December 30th, 2024 in Douglasville, Georgia, Hunter's perfect game was the third 300 bowled on Prodigy in calendar 2024. We had a couple of close calls in 2025, both on the same day at the same tournament, as Eli Nathan shot 298 at the 2025 KCO Invitational in Division 1 on episode 192. And then on episode 193 in Division 2, Andrew Lindsay got the first 11 strikes before leaving the Big 4 on the final ball for a 296. But in perhaps the most thrilling 300 of them all, there's another strike. Last month at the January KCO in Lawrence, Kansas, on episode 204, Layla Gonzalez became the 5th player to register a perfect game on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. And once again, she tomahawks out that 7-pin like it's nothing. You think her heart's pounding? I know mine is. This, the 11th ball. And she rips them apart. Well now, we've had 4 300 games bowled on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. One by Logan Mathis, one by Rhett Ryman, one by Nolan Nash, and about a year ago when we went back to Georgia, Hunter Moffett rolled one. But we've never had one by a girl or a left-hander. But we have now Layla Gonzalez with a 300. You want to build a game, build it around a swing as pure as this one. How good is this? I love it. Who will be next to produce Prodigy perfection? Only time will tell. But when these kids lace them up to bowl, my advice is don't bet against them. Now in its 10th season, it's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 206, the 2026 Kansas City Open February Point Tournament. 5 players have advanced to the TV finals, but only one can survive as the Division I champion. Here are the 5 finalists. Qualifying 5th is Cooper Farmer of Kearney, Missouri. He'll face the number 4 qualifier, Eli Clinklin of Lee Summit. The winner of that opening match will challenge the 3 seed, Caleb Conroe of Lee Summit. That winner will advance to face our 2 seed, Micah Page of Kansas City, Missouri. And that winner will bowl for the title against Rhett Ryman. He's back, and he's the tournament leader for the 2nd month in a row and the 3rd time this season. One of these 5 players will claim the KCO Division I title and will sign the coveted trophy pin. Today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We welcome you once again to Crown Lanes, the bowling alley in Leavenworth, Kansas, with the dinosaur out in the yard. On this day, we're here for the Division I Finals at the 2026 Kansas City Open February Point Tournament. Because the Kansas kids participating in Kansas high school bowling are ineligible to participate in the tournament today, since their Kansas high school bowling rules prohibit them from competing in tournaments outside of their high school meets and state tournaments while the high school bowling season is underway, we won't see them today. Consequently, we had a rather sparse field today with just 11 Division I players who went to the starting gate. But it was a strong field comprised mostly of Missouri kids. As always, there were 5 average-based divisions going at it today. On our last show, episode 205, you saw the Division II finalists. And today we're bringing you the championship round in Division I. Players in all 5 divisions bowled 6 games of qualifying, 3 games in the morning, 3 more in the afternoon, and then the field was cut to the top 5 in each of the 5 divisions for their respective stepladder finals. Here's how the qualifying round shook out in Division I. As you can see, we just missed out on having another Layla make it into the Division I stepladder. But not Layla Gonzalez, who shot that 300 on Prodigy last month, and who is bowling with her high school team and was therefore ineligible for the KCO today. No, it was Layla Johnson of Independence, Missouri, who came up just 20 pins short of a roll-off with Cooper Farmer for the 5th spot in the stepladder. Layla is our alternate today in 6th. Other names you may know from seeing them on Prodigy before include Gage Patrick in 7th. We're going to get Benjamin Rodert on the show one of these days. He keeps getting close. Dylan Pollard finished 10th, and bringing up the rear this time was fireballer Jonas Tucker. He's sure to rebound. So here's how the stepladder shapes up. It's the 5 seed Cooper Farmer and the 4 seed Eli Clinklin set to do battle in match 1. The winner will keep advancing as long as he keeps winning. Meanwhile, Caleb Conroe, Micah Page, and tournament leader Rhett Ryman are all hanging out down by the practice pair, staying loose and waiting to see who is going to face them. But right now, it's time to get match 1 underway, as Cooper Farmer is set to meet Eli Clinklin. Cooper Farmer won the September KCO to kick off our 2024-25 season, and Eli Clinklin won the September KCO to kick off our current 2025-26 season, and is also the defending champion at the Prodigy TOC. So we've got 2 guys here who both know their way to the winner's circle. Eli Clinklin being the higher of the 2 qualifiers, qualifying 4th. He had the choice, and he has elected to let Cooper Farmer start the match. He'll start on the left lane. And Cooper comes in a little thin with that opening toss. Lucky to break up the bucket and leaves just the 2-pin. Should be a fairly routine spare. Cooper's 16 years of age. Has a high game of 300 and a high series of 791. So he can really make the pins scatter. And he makes the 2-pin scatter as it goes down, leaving the stage open for Eli Clinklin, our defending champion at the Prodigy TOC. He's already won a tournament this year on Prodigy back in September, so he'll be back to defend in June. And Eli measures that one perfectly for a strike to start his match. Take another look at that shot. Over about 18 at the arrows. Hard to pick up exactly how far to the right it goes. Maybe about 6 or 7, I would guess. But it ended up with all 10 pins in the pit, just like you'd like it. All right, Eli with his first toss on the left lane. And that one just drives right over him. Never a doubt about that one. A double to start. We'll get a little better look at his line here on the left lane. Again, over about 18. That one gets out to, well, that didn't get out any wider than about 10 or 11. So he may be playing a little tighter line on the left lane, or he may have just pulled it. Not sure. We'll find out as we go along. Now Cooper Farmer up on the right, working on a spare. And he does swing it out there. And that one comes roaring back and plows him over. Cooper, a shorter player, so he takes a 6-step approach, giving him a bit more opportunity to develop some forward momentum and ball speed. He also swings that ball pretty high in his backswing. But he controls it nicely. And there's a double. And that will even the match. To check out his line, he's over about 21 at the arrows, out to about 8 at the break point. Seems like a pretty good spot for him. All right, Eli going for a turkey. Gobble, gobble. 3 strikes to start the match. Eli Clinklin, 17 years of age. He turns 18 next month. Got this one just a little bit wider than the previous shot on this lane, but we've got a little area to hit. Eli having a heck of a season already. He qualified 5th and finished 1st in September, finished 6th in October, a 3rd place finish in November, and a 2nd at the December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament when he and Robert Hill qualified 1st. And that's a 4-bagger out of the gate. And every one of them rock solid. Yeah, you hit them there, and there's nothing the pins can do to stop you. But now Cooper Farmer working on a double. If he can throw a couple strikes here in the 4th and 5th, he will even this match right back up. Oh my! Judging from his body language, I wasn't sure he was going to like that one, but I guarantee you he loved it. At the end, this ball came in at such a wide angle, it chopped the 5 right off the 9. He nearly had the stone 9, but the 4-pin came in and tripped out the 9. Thank you very much. So another strike here in the 5th, and he can even the match. And he shreds the rack. So we've had 9 strike attempts thrown, and all but one of them have been strikes thus far. Watch this one, the 5-pin, the pin in the middle of the rack, just whistles over into the 7 and just obliterates the left side of the rack. Hello. All right, Eli going for his 5th strike. But he doesn't get it. The 7 stubbornly refuses to fall. But this is a routine spare. Certainly wouldn't think he'd have any problem with this. Eli likes to go with a spare ball at these, and he throws it very straight, almost like a backup. A little too straight. Wow. Don't see him miss those very often. So a gift to Cooper Farmer as Eli follows a 4-bagger with a whiffed 7-pin. And now what a player does in a situation like this is just try to forget about it and just start another string of strikes. He threw a shot good enough for a strike, but the 9-pin says surprise. And you can tell Eli is not a happy camper. Well, this one should be simple too, but I said that the last frame. But he makes short work of the 9. But he will now go sit down and stew. A couple of good shots that could have been strikes. Neither one yielded all 10 pins. One of them produced an open. Now Cooper Farmer with a double up, leading by 13, can increase his lead to 23 with a strike here. But he goes high. Lucky he didn't leave a split, but has just the 3-6. Cooper Farmer with a slew of tournament wins to his credit. Youth Scratch Masters, got a couple of those, an HOA, KCO, a couple others. Covers the spare, no problem. Well, Cooper says his favorite PBA player is Kyle Sherman, who just made his network debut as the PBA's new color commentator on their PBA telecasts on the CW. Did a nice job, I thought. Congratulations to him and Rick Allen. Oh my goodness. Well, now the Pins are just playing games with these guys. A stone 8. You can't throw it any better than that. Watch this. The 5-pin is going to get chopped straight back off the 8. They say it's the one true tap in bowling, and I wouldn't argue with them. But he covers it and maintains his 10-pin lead. Well, Eli Clinklin with several tournament titles of his own. I mentioned earlier he won KCO back in September. He also won the Prodigy TOC in June. And he's got a Nebraska tournament as well. Oh, nearly had a 4-9, got a great break. I don't know what that flying pin was that came down and took out the 4-pin. Might have been the 3. Now he will go for this 9-pin. And he takes care of it. Eli says his best moment in bowling came when he got his first 300 game. He's also got an 8-12 series to his credit. Not bad. Now got a strike in the 8th to go along with all those other credentials. But he may need a few more to overtake Cooper. This was spot on, right in the hole. All right. Cooper leading by 11, working on a spare. Oh, and that's a runaway train. That thing almost missed the head pin on the left. He just really got a handful that time, and it just took off and turned its left blinker on at the break point. So all the hands in the gallery go up for the 5-pin. One of the more ridiculous traditions in bowling, I must say. And he covers the 5, no problemo. Well, Cooper says he got started bowling watching his dad bowl in a league. And he is proud of the fact that he is the first in his family to bowl a 300. All right, this is an important shot here in the 9th to set up the 10th. That was critical. If he hadn't struck there, Eli could have gotten up in the 9th and struck out in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th and shut him out. But with this strike, Cooper will at least have a chance no matter what Eli does. There's a solid strike right there. And that evens the match heading into the 10th frame. Watch it again. The thing I like most about Eli's game is how nice and compact he keeps his arm swing. He never strays away from his torso very far. And he doesn't have the big, high backswing that you sometimes see with two-handers. He keeps it nice and compact, very reminiscent of his friend Caden White, who is off at college now and is the defending junior gold national champion. There's another strike in the 10th. So with that, Eli takes the lead in the match. He can't shut out Cooper, but he can force him to strike out. I love that one. Oh, just a little bit high, and the 9-pin remains. And he pounds his fist on the ball return because he knows what that means. He's left the door open for Cooper Farmer. So Eli finishes with 235. Cooper will need a double to win the match in regulation. If he goes, well, he's going to need the first strike either way. If he doesn't strike on this ball, Eli wins the match. Cooper's going to need a strike and 9 spare to tie, or the first 2 strikes in the 10th to win. There's that first strike that he needed. If he hadn't gotten that one, would have been curtains. But now, it's all in front of him. A strike here in the 11th, and Cooper will be moving on to match 2. If he gets 9, he'll need a spare to tie. If he gets 8 or less on this ball, Eli wins the match. Needs a strike here to win in regulation. Oh, man, he nearly had a 4-6. That would have been, well, it would have been over then. But as it is, he gets 9. He must make this, and we'll go to a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. But he must convert the spare. And he gets it. So we have our first roll-off of 2026 on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Here's how it works. The 2 players will bowl what essentially is a 9th and 10th frame. Whoever scores the highest wins the roll-off and wins the match. If we're tied after the 9th and 10th, we just rinse and repeat. And we will continue the process until the tie is broken and someone emerges as the winner. And it looks like Cooper Farmer is going to be the first to bowl here. And he shakes him up. Gets a strike. A perfect score in a 9th and 10th frame roll-off is 60. Cooper playing that deep inside angle and still gets the light shaker to carry. All right, Eli up on the right. He'll bowl his 9th and 10th frames. Oh, breaking sharply on the back end, and he leaves the 4-9. There's so little time to recover from an open in a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. You really got to go for it. Here's how you make the 4-9. Put the ball on the left edge of the 4-pin, slide it into the 9. He can do this. Oh, man, he went for it boldly, but just missed. And that is 8 out, and that's trouble. So the best Eli can do would be to strike 3 times in the 10th for 38. That would force Cooper to go spare 9 in the 10th to win. Eli's really put himself in a box here. Well, he leaves the 10, so now the best he can do is 28. But now this spare, don't sleep on this spare. This could be important. If he makes this and strikes, he'll finish with 28. That would force Cooper Farmer to get 9. All right. A strike on his fill would give him 28. If Cooper were to go 9 and then open, he'd go 19 in the 9th and 28 in the 10th. This strike would force Cooper to mark. Okay. Not what he wanted, but he's done all he can do. The bowlers to our right on lanes 7 and 8. That is the Division 5 group, and when we get to the end of the show today, we'll tell you how their stepladder played out. But right now, Cooper Farmer needs a spare to move on to match 2. Or a strike. A strike will do. So it's the young man from Kearney, Missouri, Cooper Farmer, playing that deep inside angle. And he just pummels the pocket with that one. And now he is going to be moving on to our next match. Throws another one of those runaway balls. It goes Brooklyn, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be in the 40s, whether he makes this or misses it. And he covers it. That's 49 to 28. Cooper Farmer wins the roll-off and takes match 1. And now he will be advancing to face our 3 seed, Caleb Conroe, in match 2. To keep up with all things Prodigy year-round, join the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Facebook group. It's absolutely free, and you'll get behind-the-scenes info about the show and some of the players you see bowling on it. Plus, you'll get the occasional sneak peek at what's coming on future episodes. and you'll stay informed about where the next episode stands in the creation process. From any page on Facebook, type the words Prodigy Bowlers Tour into the search bar and hit enter. That'll take you to the page where you can submit a request to join the Prodigy Facebook group. You'll be presented with 3 simple screening questions. Be sure to answer them. If you don't, we'll assume the request to join the group is coming from a spam bot, and you'll be denied access. Nobody wants spam bots in the group. So just follow the simple directions and answer the 3 screening questions. And we'll see you on Facebook. So our first tie match of 2026 goes to a roll-off, and Cooper Farmer outlasts Eli Clinklin 49-28. Eli might never have found himself in a roll-off in the first place if it weren't for that missed 7-pin he suffered in the 5th frame after he began the match with a 4-bagger. Both players faltered just a bit and had to rally at the end of regulation to get into the roll-off. But a hit that was fractionally high left Eli facing the 4-9 split, and despite a heroic effort, he opened and really put himself in a tough position the rest of the way. So it's Cooper Farmer who takes match 1 today at the KCO, and now he's advancing to face our number 3 qualifier, Caleb Conroe, another Lee Summit bowler. Like Eli before him, Caleb is looking for his 2nd KCO title of the season on Prodigy. He won the November point tournament on our first trip to Lawrence this season. He has one of the highest averages at the KCO this season. But Cooper Farmer looks loose and very comfortable on this pair of lanes. So I look for this to be a good, close match. Both of these 2 players have the same birthday. Caleb is 1 year older than Cooper. And Caleb starts with a powerful strike right in the 1-2 pocket. He'll have the left side of the lane all to himself today. Over about the 3rd arrow, that got out to maybe 6 or so. Down they go. And now Cooper Farmer with his first ball of match 2. And once again, it overhooks a little bit, goes to the nose, breaks up the 310 baby split, leaves just the 3-pin. Cooper's only bowled 3 tournaments on the KCO circuit this year prior to today. Last month in January, he finished 15th. In November, he finished 6th. That was his high finish of the season until today. He started the year in September, finishing 22nd. And there's a spare to get match 2 underway. Says he wants to work with electronics when he grows up. Work with electronics or on electronics. Stuffed that one right in the pocket. Take another look at it. He's got a nice solid game. I've never seen him out of balance at the foul line. All right, Caleb Conroe. Another one right in the hole. Caleb started bowling when he was 13. His first league was when he was 14. He has 4 300 games to his credit. And an 8-13 series. Not bad. A double to start, and he grabs the early lead in the match. And this time the blower doesn't quite blow down the 10-pin. So he'll have one more pin to knock down this frame. Caleb says his best moment in bowling came when he won his first KCO singles title. I believe we showed that on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Oh, that's not a way to repeat the feat. As he runs by the 10-pin. That was unexpected. So Cooper Farmer takes the lead sitting on the bench. Now this young fellow, he started bowling at the age of 3. And his first league came when he was 8. Crunch. Never much of a doubt about that one. And he moves out to a 13-pin lead. Watch this. Ball up above his head. Ball nice and close to his ankle at release. Picture perfect. Going for a turkey. But the 10-pin refuses to cooperate. Well, I tell you what, you play that deep on the lane, sometimes it's a little tough to carry out those corner pins. But he's done a nice job of it so far. He'll go straight at it. And make short work of it. Well, Caleb has had a nice season thus far. He finished 8th in January. In December, he qualified in the 2nd position at the adult youth. He and his partner finished 3rd. In November, he qualified 2nd and won the tournament. In October, he finished 14th. And in September, he started the season finishing 7th, just missing out on the stepladder by a little bit. Ringing 7. Man, that was a good ball right there. 4-pin just wrapped right around the 7. I think he'd take that shot 9 times out of 10. Seven or 8 of those times, I think the 7-pin probably would have gone. Moves to the extreme right side of the approach. He's gotten better shooting those 7-pins. The first time he was on Prodigy, he nearly gave me a heart attack. He was hooking it at the 7-pin. He was throwing a plastic spare ball, but it was still hooking like crazy. And he hooked past a couple of them that day. But he's straightened out his spare shot and makes short work of it there. All right. Up on the left lane, trying to get a little string of strikes started. And this time he kicks out that 7-pin. You won't have to worry about shooting her if you can snap him out on the strike attempt. This time the 4-pin will go to the left wall, and it'll tomahawk out the base of the 7-pin. Down it goes. All right. Cooper Farmer, who says he also plays baseball. Another solid strike. Keeps himself within 12 pins of the lead. Love this 6-step approach. Starts with the right foot, ends with the left. There's that ball right under his head and right next to his ankle. And you see his hand come straight up the back of the ball. Just a slight amount of rotation. But you throw it like that, that ball's not going to deflect very much going through the pins. Beautiful strike. Let's see another one, Cooper. There you go. Tell you what, he looks loose and confident. Got that free-flowing, straight back, straight through arm swing. That kind of swing will hold up under pressure. Now a different kind of game. Two-hander versus Cooper's one-handed style. Cooper with the big backswing above his head. Caleb with the nice compact backswing. Here's a side-by-side. You can compare them. There you go. Caleb's backswing barely gets above his waist. Here they are synced up at release. They both have similar ball speed. Ball gets there about the same time for both of them. Both of them very effective. All right, Caleb working on a double. Would like to cut the lead down to just 2 with another strike here. Oh, he liked that one as soon as it left his hand. Watch his left hand as the ball comes off his hand. He gives it a little gesture. Come on, come on, come on. Yep, here it comes. He rips the rack. All right, Cooper will try to extend the lead back to 12. And he does just that. Looked like maybe he didn't love it as it came off his hand, like he didn't quite catch it, but it came charging back. I don't think there was ever much doubt about that one. Both players with turkeys. And that's a 4-bagger for Cooper. It's fun to see players in dead stroke. Love how he uses his balance arm in his swing. All right, Caleb down by 22 pins in the 8th frame. Oh, it looked to me like he got that one a little too wide, but he had plenty of hand to bring it back. And he cuts the lead to 12. Watch it again. Let's see how wide this one gets. That's out to about 4 at the break point. Had no problem bringing it back, though. But now he's got to keep the foot on the gas as he's running out of frames. Look at this. You didn't even have to see the pins to know from the sound that was a strike. Over about 12 at the arrows. I'm not sure how far to the left that ball got, but it finished up behind the 8 and 9, and there is not a pin on the deck. All right, Cooper's lead is now just 2. And the 7 puts up just enough resistance. And so now we've got a match that is down to just 1 pin separating these two. Oh, no. Well, in the previous match, Eli Clinklin started with a 4-bagger, then left a 7-pin on the right lane and ran by it on the right, just like Cooper did. It proved costly to Eli Clinklin. And now Cooper Farmer finds himself 11 pins in arrears in the 10th frame. And he doesn't quite bring that one back, and so he's in trouble now. The best Cooper Farmer can hope for now is 226 with a spare here and a strike on the fill ball. That would mean Caleb would need a mark. See the young man over there on lane 7. He is part of the Division 5 group. That's Division 5 bowling to our right. We'll recap how their stepladder plays out when we get to the end of the show after we visit with our winner here. Solid strike to finish. Cooper Farmer posts a 226. The only question now is, will it be enough? And the person who's going to answer that question is Caleb Conroe. Cooper saying, I would have liked to have had that shot in the 9th frame. All right, Caleb needs a mark. Any kind of a mark should do. Okay. Didn't like his footing at the foul line. See if we can pick up what happened there. Maybe he slipped. He didn't foul. We would hear the buzzer. But he leaves an easy spare. Gotta make it, though. And he takes care of the 3-pin. So now he needs 1 pin on his fill ball. I like his chances.
Now, after slipping on that first ball in the 10th, maybe he'll move back a little bit and just be extra careful he doesn't step on the foul line. That'll do. That'll do quite nicely. So Caleb Conroe takes match 2 over Cooper Farmer, 236 to 226. And now Caleb is moving on to face our number 2 qualifier, Micah Page, next.
Surprisingly, less than a quarter of you watching Prodigy right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Did you know that by not subscribing, you keep us from growing the channel? Take a moment right now and smash that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you'll receive a notification whenever we post a new video. That way, you won't miss anything. Leave a comment down below. We just ask that you not post any spoilers, you know, comments that give away the ending. This kind of engagement, viewers hitting the like button, subscribing, and leaving comments, goes a long way toward getting YouTube's algorithm to serve up our videos to more like-minded viewers like you. Oh, and be sure to share the video with everyone you know on your social media feeds. Send the link to your friends, especially your bowling friends. And tell the folks at your local bowling center to play Prodigy in the center or in the pro shop. Most folks in the bowling business enjoy Prodigy once they've seen it, but if they don't know about it, they won't watch. Help us grow Prodigy by spreading the word about the show. And thanks to you for being a loyal viewer of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Another thrilling match that went down to the 10th frame. And just like match 1, it turned on a missed 7-pin, this time by Cooper Farmer at a most inopportune moment in the 9th frame. And just like Eli Clinklin in the first match, it happened to Cooper in match 2 just as he was coming off a 4-bagger. He still had a chance, but when he failed to double in the 10th, it left the door wide open for Caleb Conroe, who took advantage of the opportunity, and now he's advancing to match 3. His opponent is our 2-seed, Micah Page of Kansas City, Missouri. This good-looking young fella has impressed every time he's appeared on Prodigy. He's got a solid game, but he's still looking for his first title on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. In fact, he's looking for his first match win on Prodigy. He's hoping this will be his day. These two players, Micah and Caleb, almost the exact same age. Caleb was born 1 day earlier than Micah. Well, a high hit to start. And he gets the big loft with the ball coming off his hand. Not sure if that was intentional. Leaves the 9. Covers it. So, Caleb Conroe, who says his favorite pro bowlers are Belmo and Pete Weber. And the messenger takes out the 7. Wasn't sure if it was going to get there, but it did. Gotta love that one. And now watch this. He's going to hit kind of light in the pocket. The head pin will go to the right wall, come back, and it just noses out the 7-pin. All right.
Comes in light, gets the shaker to do the work. The head pin's going to do the damage again this time, but a little different than on the messenger. The head pin will go to the right wall and come back and get the 6 and 10. The classic wall shot. All right, Micah Page. First time we saw him on Prodigy was on the Prodigy TOC a year ago, and he bowled quite well. Shots like that. He's quietly had a pretty good season thus far. In December at the adult youth, he and his partner finished 13th. In November, when we were in Lawrence, he finished 19th. In October, when we were in Gladstone, he qualified second, made the show, finished third, and he started the season in September, finishing 19th. So this will be his best finish of the year, or one of his best finishes anyway. Well, another high hit on the left lane, and he is lofting the ball quite a bit on that left lane. Sometimes you do that because the lane is hooking so much. The problem is when you loft it like that, you'll often catch the finger holes on the upswing, and you can actually put a little extra juice on the ball, and it'll overreact. Sometimes you're better off just rolling it more smoothly off your hand. It won't overreact then. But if it's hooking too much, just move left. Move your feet farther left. Move your eyes farther left where you're aiming it on the lane. Migrate left until you find some oil. There's some oil out there, I promise. Caleb with another solid strike, and look at this. He's off and running again with a turkey. Take a look at Caleb's footwork. 5-step approach. He's a slider. I wish he would get that ball a little closer to his ankle at release. If there's one thing about his game that I would work on with him, it would be that. And I think he could probably fix that by just keeping his left elbow closer to his torso coming through the release. But with the results he's getting, I mean, I'm not going to complain too loudly. Although he pulled the doggy out of that one. I think that was his left shoulder just out-racing the right shoulder, getting to the foul line. But he goes through the nose and leaves a somewhat uncommon spare, the 4-7-8. He'll go cross lane at it. I'm sure he'll throw his plastic ball at this. Go as straight as he can. And he takes care of it. So now Micah Page. He has a 300 to his credit and an 804. He's only been bowling about 3 years. He started when he was 14. He's 17 now. And he's got that right lane wired. And he's getting about the same amount of loft on the right lane as he is on the left lane. So when he throws that same shot on the left lane, it seems to be overreacting. See, he's lofting it about 2/3 of the way to the arrows. Ordinarily, that delays the hook, stores energy, so the ball will have more kick on the back end. But now let's see if he makes an adjustment on this left lane. It looks like he's nudging his feet a little farther to the left. That's good. But it still overhooks. Now he's got a little bit of a problem. The 3-10 baby split. You shoot this by putting the ball on the right side of the 3-pin. The ball will deflect over into the 10. The farther left you move with your feet, the better. But he hits the 3-pin a little too full, and that's an open frame. And now Caleb's lead has grown to 29 pins. So Caleb, who started with a turkey, put up a spare, would now like to get a little string of strikes started once again. And he can run away and hide. But that hit comes in a little thin. So he's got a little work left. He'll go cross lane at the 7-pin. Easy peasy. Caleb has 2 KCOs to his credit. He's won an HOA. He's won a doubles tournament and a couple of high school meets. So he is familiar with finding his way to the winner's circle. Man, that is a power strike right there. Watch this. This ball will hit really about the half pocket or light pocket, but everything moves right toward the 10-pin and just wipes it out, man. That 10-pin had no chance. All right, Micah better get busy. But he crosses over once again. Fortunately, he broke up the 9-10 split. He had the 6-9-10, then he had the 9-10. Now it's just the 9. This one's pretty easy. And he takes care of it. And it looks like he is heading to the bag to go for a ball change. Hoping to find the right side of the head pin for a change on this lane. But instead, he goes Brooklyn again and crosses over, leaves the 6-9. I tell you what, I see this occasionally with kids today as he covers the spare. They will make a ball change rather than moving on the lane. Now, I'm not saying Micah hasn't tried moving, but sometimes you move a board or two and you think that's enough. Sometimes you got to move an arrow or two or move a dot or two on the approach. Just moving a board or two, that's just piddling around with it. You got to make big moves sometimes. Solid strike and a double for Caleb to extend his lead to 40 as we head into the 8th frame. He is in the driver's seat. Over about 13 at the arrows, out to about 7 at the break point, and never a doubt. Another strike here, and he will go out to a 50-pin lead. with just 2.5 frames left. Oh, man. He's just obliterating the right side of the rack when he hits that swish spot. Watch this. This is very similar to the last hit he had on the left lane. Light in the pocket and just the 5-pin and everything else moves over toward the 10. There's a strike finally for Micah. Well, he's had a couple of them on the right lane, but he's still looking for his first strike on the left lane. This one a little higher than the ones he had earlier on the right, but he got away with it. Maybe too little too late, but you got to go through the motions anyway. See if he makes the right adjustment this time on the left lane. There you go. There's the pocket. First time he's hit the right side of the head pin on the left lane this match. Man, get the license number of that one. Micah with a possible 216. Caleb still with a little bit of work to do, but he's certainly in control of the match, you'd have to say. And that'll get him one step closer to a berth in the championship match. Now he will take a 50-pin lead into the 10th frame. We'll see his reaction this time. I think he liked that one. Yep. He just needs good count on this ball, and he can punch his ticket for the next match. That'll do. So Caleb Conroe is going to bowl for the title against Rhett Ryman in our championship match. A spare here will put him in the 240s.
All right, get up. Get off.
There you go. So now Caleb Conroe will have an opportunity to become our first multiple-time winner on Prodigy Bowlers Tour in 2025-26 so far. There's a strike to finish, 245. That'll win you some matches, I believe. Micah Page, who says he started bowling by watching YouTube. I think that inspired him. I wonder if he was watching Prodigy. I'll have to ask him one of these days. Yikes. Well, not that it matters at this point. The 4, 6, 7. Normally, I think you'd go for the 2 for count, but he's going to have a little fun, try to make it. Why not? It's a 245-179 victory for Caleb Conroe, and now he's moving on to face Rhett Ryman in the championship match. Bowling for all the cheese when we return.
You know, there are lots of ways to support Prodigy Bowlers Tour. One way is to tell your friends about it and even send a link to the show to friends who may not have seen it before. But if you want to go one step further and show a little financial support for all the work that goes into creating these episodes of the show, and each episode takes about 40 hours to edit, become a Prodigy patron. For just $5 a month, you get early access to each full-length episode of the show, at least a day or two before the episode goes public. And for just $10 a month, you not only get early access to each episode, but you also join the elite supporters of the show by getting your name in the show's closing credits as an executive producer. To become a Prodigy patron, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and follow the directions to become a patron. It's like throwing a little change into the guitar case of someone who's playing guitar on the street. Just a small way to show your appreciation for the work that goes into creating the art that you then get to enjoy. And you'll receive my undying gratitude for your kindness. Once again, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and become a Prodigy patron. Despite the lopsided final score, I have to say Micah Page didn't bowl that bad. He simply didn't get the ball reaction he was expecting, waited a little too long to make a ball change, and just never really had an answer for the changing lane conditions, which, in the end, left him confused. The truth is, that happens in bowling. What's important is whether he learns from the experience and comes equipped with a better game plan to deal with it next time. But a third-place finish is not nothing, and I suspect we'll see Micah again this season. But Caleb Conroe is on cruise control and will be a formidable opponent for our tournament leader, Rhett Ryman. Rhett began the day this morning with games of 290, 260, and 269 for an 8-19 series in his morning block. He cooled off a bit in the afternoon, but kept his foot on the gas for a 653 in his afternoon block. So Rhett's engine is revving and ready to go. He's been knocking on the door trying to pick off one of these tournaments all season and hasn't done it yet. But this is his third time as the tournament leader this season, and sooner or later the dam is bound to break. He's hoping it happens in the next 20 minutes. Caleb Conroe, on the other hand, is hoping it doesn't. Rhett Ryman had the option. He has elected to let Caleb start the match. I think Rhett wants to finish first. Oh, it's a magic trick. Caleb Conroe, through the nose, breaks up the 6-7-10. Must be living right. All right. Rhett Ryman, the only Kansas kid in the entire Division I field today. The rest of them are all off bowling high school bowling, but Rhett, he's not in high school anymore. He's in college. And only because his birthday falls after August 1st is he even eligible to bowl this year in youth bowling. Comes in a little light, doesn't quite get the shaker to shake out the 7. Now, as seasons go, you'd have to say Rhett Ryman is right on pace for Player of the Year honors. The only thing he's missing so far is a tournament win as he covers the 7-pin. Last month, he qualified first, finished second. At the December Adult Youth, he and his partner Wes Edwards finished 9th. In November, he finished 9th. Then in October, he made the show, qualified 3rd,
finished second. And in September, he qualified first and finished second. So today marks his third time as the tournament leader this season on Prodigy, but he's still looking for his first title of the season. And if he throws enough shots like that, he might just get it. Rhett has been one of our very best players on Prodigy and on the KCO circuit, really ever since Prodigy moved to Kansas City. Now Caleb Conroe, working on a strike, can take the lead with another one here. And he snaps out the 7 like he's been doing with great consistency today. Watch it again and pay particular attention to the 4-pin, the second one from the left. It'll go to the left wall and come back and chop out the base of the 7. All right, and with that double, Caleb seizes the early lead in the match. Oh, and he gets another blower to go. This time the 7 was a little late in falling, but that ball had plenty of power. Watch this. Once again, he's going to send the 5-pin and pretty much everything else over toward the 10, and something gets, well, it's the 4-pin that leans into the 7 with a little love tap. And Caleb starts with a turkey. And look at Rhett Ryman playing a little left of the 4th arrow and still rips the rack. Rhett with power to burn. Watch it again. The 5-pin will be the key pin that heads over to the left side of the rack. And look at that 1-pin come back off the left wall as a messenger, just in case the 10-pin had any thoughts about standing. Well, needs another strike here to even the match. This time the 5-pin misses the 7 in what we call the swishin' 7. That's maddening. If you're the one throwing the shot. Oh, that's a lot more maddening, though. And now we've seen every right-hander on the show miss a 7-pin. Eli Clinklin, Micah Page both missed 7-pin on the right lane. And now Rhett Ryman misses one on the left lane. They all missed on the right side. And now Caleb Conroe with a 23-pin lead, double working. He can run away and hide early in the match. Ooh. That was a good one there. Wow. That 8-pin had thoughts of standing. I think it's going to be maybe the 3-pin that gets it. Watch the 3-pin go to the right wall and comes back and just chops out the 8. See ya. All right, I don't think we've seen anybody get more than 4 in a row on the show today. Let's see if Caleb can be the first. Not to be. Got that one a little wider, I think, than he meant to. had to cover a little extra ground. And the messenger came back, but failed to deliver the message to the 7-pin, so he will go cross lane at it. This to maintain a 32-pin lead. And he covers it. So Rhett Ryman, who has 5 KCO titles, 4 HOAs, a Pepsi, Youth Scratch Masters, couple of those, another tournament or two, and plus the fact he is the Kansas individual state high school champion his freshman year, the same year he bowled 300 at state. Not a bad year. Strike. Well, his family took him bowling when he was young, and it just stuck. Same thing can be said of both of these young fellows. They were introduced to the sport by their parents very young, and they just fell in love with it. And I think it's safe to say they both had a knack for it. Rhett going to pursue a career as an electrical engineer. That's what he's taking in college. Boy, that was very nearly a 4-9. That ball really turned left at the end. A little more than he expected. But this is turning into sort of a choppy game for Rhett. He's thrown a lot of good shots, but he only has 3 strikes to show for it. Meanwhile, Caleb just cruising along, 4-bagger, 9 spare. Rhett's going to need to catch a break somewhere along the way, I think. You never know, though. Still half the match ahead. Yeah, see, he got that one a little too wide. And now he's got the 310 baby split. This is the right-hander's baby split. This is much easier for a left-hander because he's hooking at it from the left side, which narrows the gap between the 3 and the 10. Put the ball on the right side of the 3-pin. The ball will drive into the 10. Oh, but you got to hit the pin in front. On every spare, you got to hit the pin in front. So there's an open. And all of a sudden, this match takes on a somewhat different complexion. Caleb's lead drops to just 19 pins. And a glimmer of hope for Rhett. Caleb will double down and really focus on this shot. And there's his Sunday ball. Best ball he's thrown in this match. Over about 11, out to about 8. And I believe that's the sweet spot. And now Rhett, he just got to go to the whip. He just needs to strike out. Put some pressure on Caleb. Make him show up at the end. Wow. You can't walk down there and place it any better than that. The only thing that possibly could have left would have been a stone 8. And it almost did. Over about 21 at the arrows, only out to about 9. But man, that was like a steamroller. Now, another strike here, and he can cut Caleb's lead down to just 9 pins as we head into the final frames. There you go. That's what he's been looking for. Only his second double of the match, but an important one. As we take a look at his 4-step approach, big drift to the left, plant at the end. And that was a powerful strike. And now Caleb Conroe up in the 8th. And that strike extends his lead from 9 to 19. And that was big. Watch it again. This is right in the pocket. But now the most important shot of the match for Caleb right here. If he does not strike in the 9th, Rhett can get up in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, strike out, and shut out Caleb. But if Caleb strikes here, he'll have a chance no matter what Rhett does. That was huge. As we see it again, he's thrown a lot of these today. He's been rock steady today, I'm telling you. I've been very impressed with Caleb today. But Rhett is never to be taken lightly. He still has a chance to win this match. Solid strike in the 9th. Cuts the lead to 19. Now play this out. A strike in the 10th would cut the lead to 9. And then if he gets the strike in the 11th, he takes the lead and forces Caleb to get the first strike. So this is far from over. But this is just about a must strike here. It'll be very difficult for Rhett to win if he doesn't strike on this ball. And something distracts him, and he's going to set the ball down, reset himself. And this is a smart play. If you're not 100% on go, put the ball down, go completely through your routine again. I think he knows it's all or nothing on this ball. A strike here and he'll have a chance. Goodness gracious. You can't throw it any better than that. Wow. The stone 9. So with a strike, he shoots .216. Caleb's just going to need good count in the 10th. Wow. Rhett just couldn't get a break. How many balls did he throw in this match that could have struck but didn't? There's another one. 215. So Caleb can put this one away with just good count on his first ball here. He does not even need a mark. But knowing Caleb the way I do, he won't give anything away. He'll take his time. And if all you need is good count, the best way to get it is just put the ball right in the pocket. Chalk it up. That is a winner right there. And Caleb Conroe has won the Division I title at the 2026 KCO February Point Tournament. And he did it, I have to say, in dominating fashion. Winning 3 matches. And he will throw his fill ball for a possible 235. Not a bad day on the lanes for this young fellow who wants to be a PBA bowler someday. And I wouldn't bet against him. I think he likes it. Caleb Conroe and Rhett Ryman exchange handshakes. And Caleb Conroe is your champion in Division I. You know what that means. He'll sign the coveted trophy pin when we return after this. In 2016, when Prodigy Bowlers Tour was first launched, the kids on the show were just bowling for bragging rights. But a viewer of the show, Amanda Mayer, left a comment on one of the videos saying if there were an actual prize they were bowling for, you might get more kids to enter. And with that, the coveted trophy pin was born. On each show, the winner would sign the coveted trophy pin, and that tradition has continued until today. At the end of each season, we hold the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, or Prodigy TOC for short, and the winner claims the pin as their own. Early on in the show's history, some of our winners opted to give the pin away, but in recent years, the victors have figured if the coveted trophy pin is all that coveted, then why wouldn't I want to keep it? I wouldn't argue with them, and so they have kept it. There were a couple of years in there during the pandemic where we didn't award a coveted trophy pin. But here's the list of winners through the years. Charles Bostic in 2017. Peyton Smith in 2018. Nick Dissinger in 2019. Production of the show was suspended in 2020 due to the pandemic, so the 2019-2020 coveted trophy pin was orphaned mid-season. But just before I moved back to Kansas City from Atlanta in late 2021, we gave that final Atlanta coveted trophy pin to the winner of the Farewell Atlanta episode of the show, and that pin went to Hunter Moffitt. In 2022, we shot and released our first Kansas City-based episode, the 2022 KCO Invitational, but there was no coveted trophy pin. Then, in the fall of 2022, when we started covering the KCO each month, a new coveted trophy pin was put in play, and in 2023, it was won by P.J. Dokolas. In 2024, Rhett Ryman was the first to break tradition
and keep the coveted trophy pin when he won it. And in 2025, Eli Clinklin claimed the Prodigy TOC title, and along with it, the coveted trophy pin. Once again this season, all the winners at all the KCO tournaments throughout the current season are qualified to bowl in the 2026 Prodigy TOC, where the current coveted trophy pin will be claimed by the next Prodigy TOC winner. Strong performances by both players in the championship match. It's a shame somebody had to lose, but somebody had to win, and that somebody is Caleb Conroe. He put relentless pressure on Rhett Ryman right from the jump, starting with a four-bagger, and Rhett found himself chasing from behind the whole game. Rhett suffered a couple of bad breaks when apparent good hits didn't carry. But you know what? That's bowling. And on this occasion, a couple more of the breaks went Caleb's way. So Caleb Conroe becomes our first multiple-time winner on Prodigy so far this season, which certainly puts him in the Player of the Year conversation. But there's still a lot of bowling left, and I suspect other players will have something to say about it before the season is over. But on this day, it's Caleb Conroe who gets the flowers and the right to put his name on the coveted trophy pin once again.
Look, it's Caleb Conroe, the winner of the February KCO in Division I. And you beat a pretty tough opponent.
Yeah,
Maybe the toughest opponent.
who knows?
But they're going to be saying the same of you now, as you just became our first two-time winner this season
Yep.
on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. I don't know exactly where that puts you in the race for Player of the Year, but it's got to put you in the top one or two, I would think.
Yeah.
What were you thinking while you were out there? How did you do it today?
I mean, I just bowled well, honestly. Just stayed calm, focused, threw my shot, and thankfully all time fell down.
Okay, so one of the little things that our audience doesn't know much about you is that you do commentary for your high school, what do you have, like a YouTube channel?
Yep.
So how would you commentate on those critical shots down the stretch in the championship match where you strung, I don't know how many strikes, but enough to put the pressure on Rhett?
I mean, it was crazy. You know, Rhett's a great bowler. You know, he kept it close the whole entire way, and my goal was just to go out there and just do what I do, just strike.
So do you have an ambition to be like a broadcaster?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah? Well, I think you could do it. Maybe one of these days we'll get you in the booth with me doing Prodigy.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. You know anything about bowling?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I think
yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, I know you know this. By winning today, it means you get to sign the coveted trophy pin.
Yep.
Yet again. You're already eligible for the season-ending Prodigy Tournament of Champions, and winning for a second time doesn't really give you an advantage over anybody else other than in the Player of the Year race, but that's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
On the coldest day we've bowled on this season, this guy came out the hottest. Caleb Conroe, our latest champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier on the show, the bowlers competing in the periphery to our right were the KCO's Division 5 finalists. And here's how their stepladder played out. In the opening match, the 5-seed Maverick Kearns defeated the 4-seed Henry Spooner 199 to 165. Henry's grandfather built Rex the dinosaur way back when it was first installed to stand guard outside of Kittyland, which sat on this property before it became a bowling alley. In match 2, the 3-seed Tucker Cochran put an end to Maverick Kearns' day, winning 166 to 118. Then in match 3, the number 2 qualifier, Connor James, defeated Tucker Cochran 198 to 178. And that set up the championship match, where tournament leader Braxton McDowell prevailed over Connor James 201 to 139 to claim the Division 5 title. On our last episode, you saw little Cameron Watson use his backup ball to great effect in winning the Division 2 title. And we told you about how Logan Sparks claimed the title in Division 3, as Mark Morris Jr. ran the stepladder, winning all 4 matches in Division 4 to take home top honors there. And of course, today you saw Caleb Conroe take the title in Division 1. So congratulations to all 5 of our division champions at the 2026 KCO February Point Tournament. All 5 of these champions, like all other champions this season at the KCO, are eligible to bowl in the season-ending Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions on June 28th at Olathe Lanes East. Eli Clinklin has already won this season, so he'll be there to defend his title and possibly become the first to win back-to-back Prodigy TOC titles. Our next stop is Olathe Lanes East, site of the 2026 KCO March Point Tournament. Landon Ziegenhurt captured the title last year in Division 1. He's aged out, and so have the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place finishers from last year. So with the Kansas High School Bowlers back in action, it's liable to be a wide-open field this year. If you'd like to bowl in an upcoming Kansas City Open, visit their website at www.kansascityopen.com, where you can find the rules, entry forms, and all the information you could ever possibly need about the KCO. So that's it for this edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour from Crown Lanes in Leavenworth, Kansas. Until we meet again, this is Coach Randy reminding you to stay behind the foul line and keep kicking out the corner pins, not the foul lights and ball returns. And I'll talk to you next time on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Now, go get your bowl on.